Good afternoon, Sam and Emma. This is John from San Antonio.
John from San Antonio. Long time no hear from.
Yeah, been busy.
Well,
but
sorry.
Yeah. So we have 62 days until the midterms, and while there hasn't been a lot of changes,
John, are you calling to criticize me for saying 70 earlier? I think I did. I was just eyeballing it.
Okay, no, not at all.
Okay.
I got plenty of stuff to criticize you for, but yeah,
Nice.
Not that.
Appreciate that.
Okay, but polling for Senate races in the last month, there's been some tightening and some increases in different races. There are four important holds for Democrats in Georgia, New Hampshire, Nevada, and Arizona. Georgia has been the race that has tightened the most, and it's a pure toss-up race right now. Schumer's PAC recently started running negative ads against Walker, and there's a lot to attack him on. I know Warnock is a nice guy, but he needs to start talking about Walker's many deficiencies. If no candidate wins over 50%, there'll be another election on December 6th that could decide control of the Senate, though I doubt if it will happen considering Democrat leads in other races. There hasn't been much polling in the New Hampshire race, but I'm less optimistic about this race than most analysts.
Wait a second. Did you just imply that Georgia's not going to be important because the Democrats are going to hold the Senate regardless?
Yeah, I think they'll have enough. All they have to beat it is 50. 50, so I mean, because I think they're going to win in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania.
Okay,
that was correct, and so that's a correction right there. You said Wisconsin was. I think that Fetterman's actually going to be the easiest win, but okay.
No, but excuse me, John. Excuse me. Wisconsin would be the only place where you'd be defeating an incumbent, right? So
Pat Toomey's the incumbent. It's not running.
Yeah, but he's not running.
It's still
That's
a
right.
flip seat.
It's still a flip seat. It's full, but it's an open seat. I mean, it's going to be an open seat. So all right. We would both
flip seats are what that they need. Okay, so Maggie's on a -6 job approval rating in the latest St. Anselm poll from early August. And their most likely opposition, Dan Bolduc, is a MAGA Republican that believes in repealing the right for citizens to vote directly for the federal Senate enshrined in the 17th Amendment, which isn't going to be a very popular position in a high voting state like New Hampshire. In Nevada, Democrat Catherine Cortez Masto has a 3.6 lead, and my polling average up slightly from 3.0 in early August. In Arizona, Mark Kelly still has an 8.1 lead in my polling average, and I'd be very surprised if Blake Masters makes close considering the lack of funds that Masters has. In Pennsylvania, John Fetterman has a 9.2 polling average lead, and while there are some polls that have had the race tightening, I'm fairly confident that Fetterman will win easily. Wisconsin, Democrat Mandela Barnes has increased his lead to a 5.3 polling average, which is better than the incumbent Governor Tony Evers, who has a 2.8 point lead, who's running again, who's the incumbent. The least talked about tight race that hasn't had an objective poll since early June.
North Carolina.
Right, is North Carolina, where North Carolina Supreme Court Justice, former Supreme Court Justice Sherry Beasley is running against MAGA Congressman Ted Budd. In the last Democratic poll, Beasley led by 1 point. In the last Republican poll, they had the two candidates tied. So this race is a race to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing more objective polls.
Is that why Tom Tillis is thinking that he's going to vote for marriage equality because North Carolina is trending that way, but a vote against marriage equality would basically put more pressure on that race?
Yeah, I haven't really read too much about that. As far as, he's one of the one of the few people they're in swing districts. So I mean, it does make more sense from a political point of view. But I mean, a lot of things don't make sense in today's political landscape, though. So
why is it tightening in Georgia?
I don't know. I think just people are coming home. I mean, it just seems like, Kemp has had pretty large leads the whole time, despite, Abrams being kind of a Democratic darling, for the past few years since their 2018 run. So I think there's just a lot of backlash, but I mean, it's still incredibly tight. So I mean, it could go either way. But yeah, they're like, again, I think that they need to run more ads. They need to, talk more about all the stuff that Walker's talking about. It's pretty amazing to me that race is even tight.
I mean, honestly, like Tommy Tuberville, and Herschel Walker in the Senate, it just at one point, like it becomes a little scary. Herschel Walker is he is not I don't feel like this guy. I mean, I guess the Senate, at least he doesn't have to actually like do anything, like operate anything. But the idea that a state could elect someone like Herschel Walker to the office, whose understanding of everything that is going on in terms of politically is, I don't even know how to categorize it. I mean, it's dark. It's a dark situation.
And I also just want to say, because Tillis, I thought, got reelected in 2020. It's that's the North Carolina election is the
it's the open seat for
the open seat
because what's his face is resigning.
Burr is I was just making that clear. Yeah,
but I think if Tillis comes out and says he's against same-sex marriage, it really makes it.
I understand.
It just brings the issue to the fore. I think more in a state like North Carolina. I'm sorry. So continue. And
I have a quick question though, John, just in terms of Georgia and since we're talking about it, the Stacey Abrams gubernatorial race, how is that affecting the Senate race and vice versa?
I'm not sure. I think that it's just like I said, I feel it's mostly just backlash. I think it's just a lot of white voters can't believe, after so many decades of Republicans really doing well in the state, that like they couldn't believe that Biden won the state and they're being represented by 2 senators now. And I just feel like there's this like massive kind of white backlash against that. I mean, but so I mean, I guess that's the only way I can really understand it. I mean, I've read a lot of articles about it, but that's what I feel.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to throw a wrench in it. Continue.
No, that's all right. So the GOP House Leader Kevin McCarthy dismissed the importance of having a lead in the generic ballot, and the last time a party won it. But the last time a party won the generic ballot but didn't win in the House in the midterm was in 1942. So right now I have the Democrats up by 1.4 in the generic ballot. Nate Silver has the Democrats up by 1 point. In certain states, the Republicans were able to gerrymander seats to benefit them, like in Florida, where they are likely to pick up 4 seats, and the Democrats will probably lose 3 seats due to Florida gaining a seat from increased population due to the census. This may be countered by the Democrats winning close seats in states that had commissions draw their maps that many times favored Biden in the Biden-Trump metric. So Democrats won 222 seats in the 2020 election, but Biden won 224 in the Biden-Trump metric with the old maps, and with the new maps, that number goes up to 226. So I'm not saying the Democrats are going to win all of those seats, but in the seats that have commissions draw their maps, whoever wins the tightest swing district may determine who's going to win the House. This is especially true in Oregon's 5th district, Colorado's 8th district, Pennsylvania's 7th district, New York's 19th district, Illinois' 17th district, Michigan's 3rd district, and Ohio's 1st district. The battle for the House is tight as we go into Wednesday, November 9th, and the days afterwards. The attention will turn towards results in West Coast states, where they have mail-in voting like California, Oregon, and possibly Washington, where the results won't come in until 2 to 3 weeks after the election. Colorado has mail-in voting, and the control of the 8th district is very important. California's 22nd and 27th district are expected to be tight races, as well as Oregon's 6th district. So do you have any other questions or comments?
No, I guess we'll get a better sense as we get closer, but that's pretty comprehensive.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. One other suggestion for a guest, one of my favorite political science professors, Michael McDonnell, has a new book that just came out called From Pandemic to Insurrection Voting in the 2020 Presidential Election. So it'd be a great...
we'll put him on the list.
Great guest. All right. Thank you very
John.
much.
Thanks for the call.
I appreciate it. Okay,
right.
thank you.
Thanks so much.
There you go. Militant apathy. Warnock will win. Black people in Georgia will save American democracy again. Militant apathy also says he's right about the white backlash here. And amuse my bouche. My dad during John from San Antonio's call. This is supposed to be the fun half. Dad, listen. I have a lot of fun. It's not fun for you necessarily. It's fun for me.
That's what matters.
That's right. I think dad to dad, we should understand. We're right here, buddy.